What's up everyone, welcome back here to Tony the Lion Prince channel again. And I don't know if the channel will, the name will change or not, but this time we'll talk about Cobra Kai gang, about Johnny Lawrence's story, his background too, right? So back in 1979, West Valley Hills, there's a 12-year-old kid with a red shirt, as I can remember, brown shorts, and riding his bicycle downhill. And it's pretty easy if I imagine. It's downhill, not uphill, right? So with the soundtrack is with his Walkman name, and he's not bad as well at that time, so he just put on his Walkman and like kind of put his ears to Boston songs, name it. Not picking the game, but what's that called? Don't Look Back, right? So I think it's a representation of Johnny Lawrence that reveals his life will going to be different after discovered Cobra Kai, and that's really happened, right? For better or worse, he found a father figure named John Reese on the afternoon. He saw multiple bikers, and maybe it says they're Cobra Kai student that looks badass, and Johnny Lawrence admired them and maybe wants to be one of them because and as we know he becomes a biker with his friends too in 1994, and fan his find he find his the real bully named Daniel Russo coming down the hills, I mean the beach, and making some conversation with Ellie Mills, his former girlfriend. But Daniel really a real nemesis at that time. I admit that John is real hero, no doubt about that. Like, he's just a fallen hero, and Daniel is a fallen uh, villain. I don't know, that make people think he is a real hero because he's the main protagonist. That's all, right? And then Johnny Lawrence figures Cobra Kai and time swap. But I think there most likely there must be a couple videos. I mean, couple episodes of Cobra Kai about Johnny, especially when Johnny met his team up with Bobby. His second is not rival, but he's the second strongest Cobra Kai student after Johnny, right? Dutch, I cannot say his maniac is cool too, although he's kind of psychotic. I don't know. But it's more a sociopath since he's not killed anyone, but he's ended up in jail, so I don't know. Then Tommy, the comedy Cobra, and Jimmy, the quiet one, but he talks several quotes too. I cannot say he's is just a figure or just like NPC. No, I think he's main character too. He just not talk as much as them because if he's not main character, he would not be part of Johnny's gang. That's it. Just like the Jerry, right? The guy that's on a brown belt, And then I think that there must be a seasons for Kai, maybe season 6, about how they meet each other, especially Johnny's gang, and I'm pretty sure that most of Johnny's gang, especially Tommy, that I read on Cobra Kai blog, that Tommy is might be being bullied too, just like Johnny in middle school. But the difference is Johnny discovered Cobra Kai faster than Tommy, while Tommy discovered Cobra Kai while he just wants to impress his crush, Al Mills, that ended up with John Lawrence, but not really at all. Right? So then, I think that's how Johnny and Tommy met each other. But I think Tommy is not fight Johnny not because he's scared of him, but he he uh, he might be rather being friends, maintain his relationship with Johnny in a kind way rather than making one girl as a distance between their friendships, right? And after 3 years dedication and And there is one thing, tournament in 1993, there are still not episodes yet about that, but I think that's interesting because we realized in on season 4 when Tommy and Johnny and Bobby talking, and I mean when Tommy's dying, he talking about tournament 1983. They talk about Derek Vidal. That might be uh, a sign that Derek Vidal once in what kind of seasons, maybe season 6 will would be a main character too. Just like we know, is mentioned a lot. And tournament 1993, he beat it up. He even beat him, beat Johnny Lawrence. That then Johnny Lawrence discovered that the way style of Derek Vidal is, strike is open up the whole area of his body that easily to be punched, like the spin kicks, right? That's cool, but easily that's open the whole, the body parts to be punched or kicked. That's why after discovering that, I've discovered that Terry Vidal lost on the tournament 1994. I think that's interesting if good they set the fight about Johnny and Tommy too. That Johnny says Tommy make a good fight with him that doesn't make easy on him. That that might be proof that Tommy is one of the strongest of Kai came to. I think four of them are strong, while Dutch is intimidating one. And there must be a scene about how Dutch. I mean, we know why Dutch is most likely ended up in jail, but we should be know the real reason why he's ended up in jail. Why? I mean, what kind of maniac he is? Is he anyone or still anyone is bike? But it's mentioned on season 4 that or season 2 while Tom is dying, then his friends spend times a lot with him before his times, right? Uh, that Dutch mentioned is destroy some stuff, important stuff that might be lead him to jail, or in juvie, the first time in juvie, and then he's ended up in a middle age jail too, because as we know they are not teenagers anymore, right? And we can think how intimidating he is in the jail, but I confused why he's not with John Chris on the jail. It's kind of, I mean, if they are correct, like there might be create a scene between then make them meet each other, but Robbie is of course not because Robbie is still Robbie is on juvie, not or maybe a separate jail, right? I mean, like Dutch in Lompop and John Chris is middle of nowhere, right? I think we just talk about that background of Johnny rather than because we all know about the story, whole story. I mean, most of the story, but backstory is mostly it's not doesn't mean the backstory of Johnny is doesn't interesting, like especially how they meet each other and Johnny's gang. That's it. Like, hopefully, Cobra directors makes that seasons about that too. I think that's my recommendation too. Thank you.